But no one in the Arsenal camp needs reminding that this competition is about as tough as they get.
George, this is a very hard competition, but the fact you've picked Ian Wright suggests you're going to have a very positive attitude tonight.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to get a good solid performance. Probably play similar like we did in Turin, and hopefully get the same result. But this is a much different team, and it's a different way to play to Torino. This is a very good side.
So how are you going to beat them then if they're a very good side over the two legs?
Well, I think get a good result here, and hopefully they do the business back at Highbury again. They're a very good side, but there's not that many good sides in France. Probably with the exception of about 4 other clubs. It's a very, very average league to play in, I think. But tonight they'll probably, hopefully, they'll have a lot more to think about.
George Graham talking a little earlier to Gary Newbon. Well, Dennis Law is with me. Dennis, what sort of performance do the Arsenal need tonight?
Well, of course, as you go more forward in this competition, the harder the teams get. But I think George Graham, we got a great result against one of my old teams in the last round, Torino, where they went out and defended. Of course, they won the game at Highbury. And I think, to be fair, that's the only thing that he can do tonight. He'll go out there and play it very tight indeed, and hopefully rely on Merson and Wright to go up front and nick a goal. But I would think that they would defend. And if you had to back any team in England who are capable of doing that, then the Arsenal can.
But there's no doubting the pedigree of this French side. Their unbeaten run is a testament in itself.
Well, if you look at the record of 35 games without defeat, that is very good. And then going back to last August, the last time they got beat. And as I think as George said, we don't really know the standard of French football. It looks very impressive. We'll have to actually watch the game and see what like they are. But it'll be a tough game, I have to.
Well, the game itself is coming up. Dennis, thanks very much. Let's now cross to the Parc des Princes and join our commentary team of Ron Atkinson and Brian Moore.
Good evening to you from a very noisy Parc des Princes here in Paris. Let me give you a check quickly on the teams. Arsenal first, well, will he play or won't he? That was the question today. Ian Wright, but he's playing, having been left out of the 2 previous away ties in this competition. So support up front for Alan Smith. George Graham believes in full use of the squad system, of course. He also believes in the gritty midfield qualities of 19-year-old Ian Stelly, who makes another European appearance. Well, Paris Saint-Germain, unbeaten in their last 35 games, top of the French First Division by 6 points, a sprinkling of French internationals, and 2 of Brazil's best, Ricardo in defence and Valdo in the midfield. The lone striker is the Liberian international George Weah. And watch out, too, for France's Footballer of the Year, David Ginola, down the left. Tonight, though, they're missing their key defender, Alain Roche, who's injured. The referee comes from Sweden, Leif Sundell. I'll give you the substitute in a moment. Arsenal in a change strip of yellow. Attack the goal to our left. Another night, really, when Arsenal, I suppose, are likely to be on the rack, and their supporters everywhere on the edge of their seats. Really, once again, calling for a really dedicated and disciplined performance from them, just as we saw in Turin. Smith well offside there. And, of course, nothing less will do here tonight. What a hostile atmosphere.
Well, I'm just thinking, Brian, this is what you call a European atmosphere, isn't it? I mean, I can't remember for many years being in a stadium with the noise. The noise level is unreal.
Le Guen putting it forward to Ginola. This ball man down the left flank, stopped in his tracks there by Ian Wright. It may look misty out there. This is just the smoke from smoke bombs that were let off as the teams came out. I hope it'll clear a little later on. Adams getting a good challenge in there. Albo trying to play the ball in there. Here's Winterburn. Formidable club in France by a long way, top of the First Division in France, as I said, by 6 points ahead of Marseille. 48,000 here in the Parc des Princes, and it was a sellout in a matter of days after the draw was made. Dixon on the far side. What a key role Louis Dixon's got tonight. Against Ginola, a throw to Paris Saint-Germain and a free kick. Dixon holding over Ginola there. This is where Arsenal will need to be very diligent. Sasu, the defender, a big man who normally plays right back, comes forward. The number 5 and is really dangerous in this sort of situation. Ginola himself is a 6-footer. George Weah, the Liberian, is there too. And Ricardo, the number 4. But it's driven straight at the wall there. Comes in the second time and a first touch for David Seaman. Be happy to get that one under his belt, although, of course, Seaman is unflappable as they come. Oh, my goodness, he's hit that one straight at George Weah. And fortunately for Arsenal, it went into touch.
Well, let's hope he is unflappable after that. It's a nice cushy start, and Seaman is actually one of the best dead ball kickers amongst goalkeepers in our league. And that is a letter. Anywhere else, if that drops into George Weah's run, I think you'll find that Arsenal will be one that down. They're playing exactly the same team I saw play against Manchester United last Tuesday, Arsenal, and they're playing the same system with Merson and Ian Wright being asked to sort of cut off the flank defenders, but also George Graham was saying today, Brian, when the ball goes into Alan Smith, they've got to sprint and join him and sort of make like a little wedge head up front, if that sort of explains the situation as they're playing it.
Well, Weir's obviously been in a bit of trouble there. Now, where are we? It's a throw for Arsenal. The Arsenal fans, about 3,000 of them here, I'm told. They've got their work cut out to make themselves heard above this French crowd. Another free kick, and Arsenal haven't been out of their own half yet. Here's Valdo. Guerin. Politer. Steve Bold with this one. Getting a bit of distance with the header, but it falls to Valdo again. Bolding again. Winterburn now. Flicked off. Paris Saint-Germain player and Arsenal goal shot.
I think at this moment, the way the Arsenal set the stall out, very important to their back four and midfield. Don't allow the Paris Saint-Germain to play through them, to play little one-twos. You know, the likes of Valdo, George Weah, Ginola, as you said, will be excellent at that. They've got to just be patient and make them play across or back. Just make them play the ball across the face of them.
Well, that's a better clearance by Seaman, and the first time we've gone in basically into the Paris Saint-Germain half. Winterburn gets the cross in. Wright tries to get on the end of it, but Fournier with a little header away. Knocked in again by Paul Davis. Hit away again by Ricardo. Davis again. But he puts it straight into the path of Valdo. Winterburn's got some ground to make up. Le Guen. Now the Brazilian Ricardo. Forward to Guerin. Swiftly challenged there by Jensen.
That was a good tackle. That was a good tackling indeed, because Colletti had made a great breakout running the outside, and if Jensen hadn't got his foot in there, there certainly would have been in trouble, Arsenal.
Well, here's Colletti, the left back, with the throw for Paris Saint-Germain. A little challenge there, actually, by Lee Dixon, just as Valdo was making a run. Merson trying to knock it back for Winterburn coming forward, but it didn't quite fall for Nigel Winterburn, but a strong challenge again by Davis. Lasse playing it forward, and here's Seaman.
I know that George Graham expects Nigel Winterburn to try and make some breaks from the back. He feels that if anything, that's the space, that's where the side of the space will be. Lee Dixon, obviously on his side, is going to be occupied with Ginola most of the evening, I would guess.
Out of play. Let's have a look at the Arsenal bench. Well, Eddie McGoldrick there. Adam Miller, the reserve goalkeeper. Nice Gallic moustaches there. Who says there's no fun in football? Oh, good spirit in the Arsenal side. Let's hope it maintains itself to the end. Here's Merson. Oh, I thought for a moment Selly was going to get in there. Jensen with a shot. Well, I'm sure I don't have to repeat that woeful statistic about John Jensen. He's never scored for Arsenal.
You know, I've just said to George before the game, I've got a feeling that when he does score, it'll be in the final.
Yes, well, he makes a habit of that. He did in the European Champions final for his native Denmark.
That incident was a tremendous goal kick from Bernard Lamar. Diagonal across to Ginola, you know, who will be useful in the air. They'll try and play on Lee Dixon a little bit and exploit Lee Dixon in the air. They won't want to be knocking long balls onto the top of Adams and Bowles.
Ginola stops. Ooh, Dixon missed his touch. Ginola. And Arsenal at full stretch to get that one away. And across the face of the goal again, that time from Colater. And just for a moment, actually from the moment Lee Dixon lost his footing, so the whole Arsenal defence looked to be unhinged. Ginola played it across there, and Colater got a shot in, but it went right across the face of the Arsenal goal, but that could have been so dangerous. You saw it took a terrible bobble there as well. The pitch is awful, mind you. Arsenal were saying when they came here last night that, or George Graham was saying, it looks what it is, a rugby pitch. He said, don't be fooled by how green and pleasant it looks from a distance, and I walked across it, in fact, this afternoon, and it is very heavily rutted. Of course, this is where England beat France in the Five Nations. Rob Andrews' great day, and it certainly does lack a certain something so far as football's concerned. Get around now. Again, Arsenal getting in quickly. It's knocked back by Paul Davis. Merson couldn't keep it in play.
But you have to say the French team are tremendously bright at the moment, aren't they? I mean, we've talked about the condition of the pitch, and you're right, it is what we would term a bobbly pitch. But I tell you what, they don't seem to have too many problems when they're trying to play their little give and goes at the moment.
Davis.
And their pace, the tempo of the game is electric.
I think that's one of the things that we'll all notice tonight, having looked at them a little bit on tape. They are a fanatically hard-working side, the French. A lot of good movement about them, Ron, and they really do work up and down this pitch, you know, almost like no other side, like yours did on Sunday, in fact.
Yeah, they've got that thing, the same thing as maybe AC Milan have got, where they're prepared to press the game, prepared to put pressure on top of the Arsenal and try and close people down. Attributes, if you like, that we like to think are English. There's a first-class example, you see. Davis, no time at all to settle on the ball. Hustled and hunted and hounded. A little bit illegally.
And a free kick to Arsenal in the centre circle, just inside the Paris Saint-Germain half. Steve Bowles lining it up. Smith is right alongside him. Selly's gone up there too. Dixon's on the far side. Bowles at it. Looking for Lee Dixon, in fact, but Colater got there first. That came off the Frenchman, or at least the Liberian, George Weah.
I think if they can, Brian, I know it's a little bit foreign to their nature, Arsenal, if they can just get hold of the ball for a spell and control it, all right, not be too ambitious, but keep the ball for a little while and try and sort of take the tempo down a little bit. Normally, you like Arsenal to play at a high tempo, but I think at the moment, with the atmosphere of the crowd, with the way they're controlling and moving, I think it would help Arsenal scores if they could just take the sting out a little bit.
Arsenal throw, it came off number 2, Lassay. 10 minutes gone.
Well, I must confess, that shows me the tempo of the game. I thought they'd only just kicked off. I really did. I mean, that's flown along.
I think that goes back to your game with Manchester United on Sunday. I mean, the first half, I think, lasted 20 minutes, didn't it? I mean, it was...
And it's still the last 5 minutes lasted an hour. Don't worry about that.
Semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup. Palmer of Italy and Benfica of Portugal in the other one. This is Gerrard, the little worker, and the bobble there actually beat him.
We saw the good movement, didn't we, from George Weah. Ran along the line, registered with the little chip here, lovely little sign run, and as you say, maybe the pitch was to blame there, but that was good understanding between the midfield player and the striker.
Smith battling there with Ricardo. Selly on the far side. Back heel, there's room for Dixon now to get across in. He's hit it low. Certainly plenty of red and blue shirts of Paris Saint-Germain back in defence when Arsenal threatened there. Valdo, the Brazilian, for them now. Getting around Davis. A flick to Weah. Gets it back again. The crowd like that. But Selly was in there, and it was a difficult one for Seaman to crack away there, but he did it excellently. This is Ricardo again. Lagren. Sassu. Back to the French #1 goalkeeper, Bernard Lama. Into Byrne. Lassay. Jensen. Lagren. Arsenal throw.
It looks as if the goalkeeper, Lamar, has decided that when he does kick the ball off the deck, he's going to try and angle it on top of the Arsenal fullbacks Winterburn and Dixon. Try and miss Bolden Adams out. He knows obviously their aerial power.
Here's Selly. The long ball forward, Wright's chasing it. Ricardo's with him. Just wonder whether George Graham felt this was a match that he could take to Paris tonight. That's why he put Ian Wright in, Ron. I mean, he kept him in reserve for the home legs in the two previous games against, or rather in the away legs in Belgium and in Italy.
Yeah, but I think this is a different kettle of fish. He knows that Paris Saint-Germain will push on. That in its turn is going to leave space behind the defence at some given time. And, you know, that's Ian Wright at his best. I won't say Ian West then. He's also at his best in that respect. But that's Ian Wright at his best. If there's a space behind the defence, I felt George probably felt against Torino with a tight defence where Ian, maybe his touch isn't as good as he would like it in close control. But when he can run onto things, that's when he's at his most lethal. And there's certainly space here. This is an example where he can attack the defender.
A little pick on by Merson, but Wright pass back to him, fell straight to Lasse, towards Ginola on the far side. Baldo, who you fancy will make all sorts of mischief through that midfield. A little touch by Ginola, but Dixon was well alive to it. Cleared by David Seaman, and at least two Paris Saint-Germain players caught well offside.
I think they're going to have to be a little bit careful. I know Arsenal do like the back pass because they trust Seaman with his ability to kick the ball well. But notice when the ball's going back, it's bobbling very ugly. I mean, the one he volleyed back from Selly early on was a magnificent clearance, because that would have tested the best of defenders.
Yes, it's the bread and butter ones that goalkeepers might just feel, yeah, this is a normal one, but it might just have a horrible bobble just before it gets to him, so we must watch the back passes for David Seaman. Still 0-0 here between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Dixon. Davis. Crossed in towards Wright. Well shadowed there by Ricardo. Jensen coming across quickly. Got support here from Nigel Winterburn. Second leg, of course, at Highbury fortnight tonight, the Tuesday night. Here's Kelly again. Guerin, Baldo. McGuinn's gone forward. But well wide. He's all left foot is McGuinn. But he struck it with some power, the Paris Saint-Germain captain.
Oh, yeah, he's got a big shot to look at. But I'm watching Valdo, you know, he's just playing where he likes. He's like a free spirit. Obviously got the Brazilian quality. You see that one? That's a good arrow, that. He's got that Brazilian free spirit about him and the technique, and he just floats all over the field. I mean, for a spell, he was spending a lot of time down here in front of us on the right-hand side. Now he's gone into the, what you term an old-fashioned inside left position.
Jensen. Incredible defensive record that Paris Saint-Germain have. Only 15 goals conceded in 31 league games this season. I think it's only 5 they've conceded all season here in the Parc des Princes. It's the measure of the task facing Ian Wright and his merry men tonight. They've conceded only 1 in 6 European games this season. That was in the last one they played here, a 1-1 draw against Real Madrid. They eliminated Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. Pedigree is really impressive, and they've got another throw.
You notice Gino's not going to give Dixon a minute's peace, is he? He knows Lee Dixon's best use for the Arsenal is coming forward, and he's going to make sure he has to defend for most of the evening.
Dixon again against Ginola, getting some support there from Paul Nelson. Well, there seemed to be no room, but he still got his shot in, and a good one it was. Maybe a little too close to Seaman. Seaman with a good throw out there to Nigel Winterburn. Inch perfect, that one. Wright's gone on a run. Smith has pulled up a little closer. So it's Alan Smith now for Arsenal. A little touch through there to Selly. A good sensible ball played there by Selly. And a good shot on the far side by Paul Merson. At least I thought it was a good shot, but it just flew wide of the far post. But some good movement there by Arsenal.
Great build-up. Just listen to those statistics you gave us about the defensive record. It's not that bad an effort. That's quite a good effort. But they do seem as if they're leaving plenty of space. And I think if Arsenal do step up and do push people forward from time to time, albeit sensibly, Brian, I think they'll get their time and space to play coming forward. I mean, they look to me, Paris Saint-Germain, as if they're better equipped to sort of go at the opposition.
Jensen didn't have much time there. Ricardo keeping a very close watch on Wright. Bold. It's a lovely, mild, spring-like evening here in Paris. And the French get a free kick. Now ahead of you, coming up towards 10-9 here. Jensen just winkles it clear. Davis puts Winterburn in some bother there, but it deflected off. Yes, it must have last come off Winterburn, though. Where? And they get a corner. Arsenal still complaining about the throw before that preceded that. They thought should have been theirs. Tony Adams having a word with the Swedish referee now. That's history now, and what Arsenal have got to do is to defend from this corner. Le Guen with the left foot plays it short to Valdo. Cross is in there. It's behind from Ginola. It's a goal kick.
Well, you always think there's a certain mistake about a Brazilian when he's in possession, don't you? Particularly one that sort of, well, particularly one with his ability that wears the number 10. I mean, that's a little bit frightening. He has looked the most impressive player to me at the moment.
Well, that's the Paris Saint-Germain bench, and having seen those artificial moustaches, they are the real thing. Good jump by Bold. Winterburn getting in. Le Guen. Here's Ginola again. Dixon stopped him. Got a slight problem, and he's going off whatever it is, I think, to get some attention, is he? Yes, Steve Bold's going off. I just wonder why the treatment has to be delivered off the field there. Well, he's got a nose problem. I think he may have had a bang on the nose. Let's see if we can get a look at that in a moment. At the moment, it's Arsenal getting it away down towards Alan Smith. And a free kick for Arsenal. Oh, yes, he's got a real old bang on the top of the nose there. George Graham, a little agitated there. Just alongside him. And something George is far from happy with. Tony Adams. It's a free kick for Arsenal. It's with Merson. Bold has made a run from the back. Nobody has spotted him yet. Wright trying to cause a bit of havoc. A little chip there by Dixon for Ian Wright. Brought down. Is that a free kick?
Now, I'm just wondering whether Tony Adams' years is coming up. This is the first dead ball he's been up for here.
Shove in the back there. The number 4, Ricardo, who's really been close marking Wright. Now, Adams up for the first time. Bold is in there as well. Need a good delivery from Paul Davis for this one. A lot of good movement there. Floated in, and it came off George Weah, in fact, in the end, who'd gone back to help out in defence, and Adams content to let that go over the touchline for an Arsenal throw.
I think you can tell how much respect Paris Saint-Germain have got for Arsenal in these situations. We saw against Torino, good movement when the ball's there. They all do these little spin runs, little rotations. But I tell you what, the marking there, talk about touch tight, they're virtually inside the Arsenal shirt, the Paris lads then.
There's another throw with Winterburn. John Jensen. Third in a game. Again, Paris get it away. Up to Valdo, taken very comfortably on his chest. Changed his mind about 3 times there. Halfway through the first half, still 0-0. And a clumsy, let's say, unhappy with the ball Valdo gave to him. While they were arguing, Arsenal got on with it. Right now, taking it from Winterburn's throw. Plays a good ball there to Davis. Played it in quickly again. Smith with a chance for Arsenal just for a moment. It seemed to be there. John Jensen. Oh, a terrific save, and it's just wide. Well, when is it going to happen for John Jensen? For a moment, it looked as though that was it. Smith, in fact, looked as though he's in a good position himself, first of all. Then he made an excellent one for Jensen, who struck it beautifully. Behind Ailama for the corner.
I would think even when he hit this, once the keeper got a hand to it, I still think Jensen thought it was probably going to trickle in. But
sorry, Ron. Arsenal's corner, a deeper one this time. Oh, a great bit of keeping there. Ailama, a good throw. It was Adams who was aiming for that one, and now Tony Adams has got to get back. The French are streaming out now. Le Guen. Valdo. Le Guen.
I think there's plenty of encouragement for Arsenal, though, if they can keep their own end right, because, I mean, these do look impressive when they break out. But I'm not so sure defensively that when Arsenal do come forward, put their little pockets of football together, I've got a feeling that there is a way to them. Although, in all fairness, that lad in goals was a good keeper, Lamar.
That was a glorious take from that corner, wasn't it? Now, Weah. Is there a problem here? Weah with the shot. Seaman with the save.
I'll probably put the mockers on it, but I can no way see this staying at no score. I mean, both sides are so strong coming forward. And on this pitch, that could have been an ugly little bounce in front, it seemed, particularly in view of what happened to him last week against Manchester United.
That's right. A long clearance by Seaman. Safe and sure this time. It was Merson on the far side playing down that right side. Selly trying to get in. A little clumsily, actually. Oh, that wasn't clumsy by Davis, though. Lasset for Paris Saint-Germain. Davis going in again. Fournier gets the pace to beat him, though. Fournier forward for Weah and continues the run. Valdo's there as well. Cut out nicely by Dixon before they could get it through to Ginola. Right. A touch for Winterburn. Right again. Smith comes towards him. Merson's on the far side. Being watched by Colleté. Flicks it in nicely for Selly, but Sassu was there. Wright with an overhead. It's it straight at Ricardo. The Brazilian claiming, in fact, that there was dangerous play by Wright. But Wright's the one who's got a smack on the head.
That was another result of some very, very good football, though, from Arsenal. You see him gamble there, Ian Wright, to try and get the one. There's no way that can be dangerous football, no way. But I tell you what, I just wonder, Brian, I mean, full marks for Ian Wright. He is an instinct striker. His number of goals saved that suggests that he knows what he's doing. I just wondered if he'd have just taken that one on the half turn, he might have just opened something up for himself there. I tell you, there's something in it for the Arsenal attacking-wise.
Well, I think he got a smack on the back of the head there. I've got a feeling, if you saw it on the slow motion, that possibly Ricardo just clipped him with the right boot. There. I think we saw it slightly better on the other slow motion, but word on the Arsenal bench there between Stuart Houston and George Graham. Arsenal with a corner, and Wright is okay again. Bowl with a little little flick on, maybe. Tried to get it. Merson couldn't quite get his foot to that one either. Dixon can. Only Winterburn is back, but Winterburn is sure. Dixon hammers it forward again towards Merson. It comes for Alan Smith. Tries to feed Merson with it, nodding it down towards Wright. Bernard Lama to Lasek. Forward to George Weir. Gwen. Being hustled by Wright. Polite. Valdo. He's again got his way beautifully past Paul Davis. But not past John Jensen. Good challenge. Crowd didn't like it. Referee saw nothing wrong with it. And here come Arsenal again. Merson. Dixon right up there. Smith trying to get in there. 2, 4, 6 Paris Saint-Germain players who got back. There was a fairly lazy ball out as well. Winterburn to Wright. Horrible bobble again there.
Certainly in the last 10 minutes, the pendulum has swung right round the Arsenal's way. The only thing you worry about is that, or wonder about, not worry, is just make sure that they don't sort of lose concentration at the back now and get forward on the counter, because they're now taking control of the game. For me, Arsenal, all the best attacking moves and the most likely goal scorers at the moment look to be Arsenal.
Ginola versus Lee Dixon. David Ginola. Oh, cut out easily there by Selly. Smith finding Wright. Selly again, just getting in time. Not only that, found Winterburn with a good ball. Wright's got plenty of movement ahead of him. Certainly good. Right. Now Smith. Merson. Smith again. And Ricardo fully stretched there to put it behind.
There's good space, you know, for Arsenal. When they come forward, just down the sides of the penalty box, the Paris wide midfield players aren't defending at all. That's leaving an awful lot of room for players, support players coming up from the Arsenal midfield, particularly in wide positions, just late in the movement.
Adams coming up late. Again, Bold at the near post, looking for that little flick on, and if he misses it, maybe Smith. But the French are alive to that, and Lamar gathers the ball above the head of Steve Bold. And a long throw out, and Arsenal need to get back quickly. This is Ginola. He's got terrific pace. He's gone past Winterburn. Dixon's come across. Ginola still. Guerin. Valdo. Here's on the far side.
Just wonder how much that took out of Paris. You know, they started very fast, didn't they? Tremendous tempo at the beginning. And, you know, whether they can sustain a tempo like that. I mean, an English club, particularly one like Arsenal, who's used to playing that way week in and week out on a high tempo, probably more experience of doing that. But Paris Saint-Germain, in their own league, I would guess, can sort of steady up, and then accelerate. Today, they're going to be put to the test all throughout the 90 minutes. Arsenal will keep the tempo with them.
Sorry you lost your pictures just a moment ago, just for a few seconds from our French colleagues. Glad to say, and they're back again now. I hope you're enjoying this football live from the Parc des Princes in Paris. 0-0 in this European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final first leg. It's a free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Le Guen, their captain, and Valdo over it. Fournier, number 7. This is Polite. He would have preferred that onto his left foot. That's a nice little dummy there. Cross in. Oh, and Seaman just poured that one away. He got a yard or so on it, but it wasn't all that convincing. But it was a devil of a cross to deal with. Ginola. Free kick. Arsenal complaining about something that happened on the touchline there. Way before that. That was what the free kick's been given for. Ricardo's up from the back. Sassou, we have to watch him, the number 5. Fournier's in there. Weir's in there. And Gilliver's in there. Le Guen, we don't have to worry about that. That was a real Rob Andrew effort.
It was certainly a very, very good situation. All the big guys had run in towards the goal and taken Arsenal defenders with them. And that left Le Guen completely unmarked in a good shooting position, Brian. You know, we know him to have a good shot, particularly with his left side.
Well, the big French sports newspaper, L'Equipe, its headlines today, a match for men, they said. Indeed it is. A match for stout hearts out there and good technique, good spirit. Let's hope just a little bit of skill that can provide a happy outcome for Arsenal.
I must say at the moment, if I was George Graham, I'd be well pleased with what's going on. Had some hairy moments in the first 10, but since then they've been, for me, the better side.
Smith chasing.
Or the side more likely to score. I think Arsenal have done that well as well, you know, with the Merson and Wright. They've prevented Paris Saint-Germain just playing the short ball from the back to the flank defenders. That's the tactic they like to use, and both Merson and Wright have closed the fullbacks up early.
Guerin. Well stopped by Davis. He was glad of a little support from Dixon, though.
It's magnificent, this crowd, isn't it? The way it just keeps going, the noise coming from it is unreal.
Merson. Ball out of play.
Whether or not they feel this represents their best chance of winning a European trophy in France. I think Arsenal have some strong ideas about that over 2 legs.
Indeed. It's a free kick then, which was a throw. Jensen. Foul on Smith. By Ricardo. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Davis behind it. Adams has come up. You know Arsenal can be so devastating with these dead ball situations. Davis floating it in, right with a header. And Arsenal have scored!
Well, almost an identical situation from the goal they scored against Torino, wasn't it? The Paris Saint-Germain defence have tried to step up on them because not only was Ian Wright unmarked, also Tony Adams had got in as well. And just felt there was a goal coming from Arsenal. I mean, they've been conceding unnecessary free kicks, and that's a lovely little glance. That's maybe a situation where the ground has actually helped him because it's got a very good skip off the ground there. But a terrific little glance from Ian Wright.
The decision to play Ian Wright in this away leg has borne the most wonderful fruit for Arsenal. But Adams there clashing with a French player. Well, Ian Wright, 32 this season. And that could be one of the most precious ones of the lot.
And I'll bet they are encouraged. I bet Merson, Alan Smith and Ian Wright are so encouraged about the way they're allowed to drift through. Here's that free kick again. As I say, good delivery, good movement, terribly slack defending.
And as you say, the identical position from which Davis delivered the free kick from which Tony Adams beat Torino in the last round. Well done, Ian Wright. Well done, Arsenal. Ginola was the injured player. He's fit again now. Arsenal, it's an important away goal, of course. You can't speak too highly of that one. But now there's some defending to be done here. Le Guen, Adams is going to do it. In fact, that could have gone quite easily for a goal kick. Davis with a little touch to Winterburn. A long ball play. Wright is chasing after this one. Smith just a fraction offside, not much in it.
And that was more luck than designed by the French defence. They were sleeping again there. If Alan Smith had been just a yard the other way, nobody would have been able to get near him.
Gasset, Valdo, Le Guen, goals for Valdo again. So important that Arsenal keep Paris Saint-Germain at bay now. What are we, about 8 minutes to half-time? Valdo with the free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Ginola with a header, but it's gone well wide. And this time, is it Lee Dixon down? In a good deal of pain as well. And if we can see from here how it happened.
It looks as possibly when Ginola got the head and he turned his head full into Lee Dixon there.
Well, he's obviously in some distress there. They've got Martin Keown, a defender who can come on. Well, there's Keown warming up.
I think there's nights as well you can sense if your team, if you're a manager, if one of the players on the field, all of a sudden the adrenaline pumps, and this is a night for it, isn't it? I mean, the whole atmosphere is conducive to people performing well. And I think Arsenal, all of a sudden, after 10 minutes, thought, hang on, we can get at these. Whereas they probably thought they're going to have to sit and dig a few trenches for a half an hour or so. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. Whenever they come through, there's a menace about Arsenal.
Yeah, the good news for Arsenal was that Lee Dixon is okay again, as you can see. A little flick on there. Wright tries to get on the end of this one. Colleté turning away from Merson. Scoops it left-footed to Garin, into Le Guen. A little touch by Ginola, but Arsenal managed to hold that one at bay. Davis played it short. Selly played it straight to a Paris Saint-Germain player. Here's George Weah. Good stop by Selly, though. Came back to defend well. Valdo. Fournier in there. And, well, the referee was prepared to let that one go. The linesman flagged. The referee concurred in the end, and it's a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Difficult position this for Arsenal. Sasso and Ricardo are there just as Adamson bowled off from the back. Valdo with the free kick. Comes off Ian Wright for the corner. Wright goes down as though poleaxed. And the French fans unhappy with that, but Wright caught it. Apparently full in the face. The game goes on. The corner about to be taken by Valdo. And Jensen scoops it away. Colleté. Merson with a header. Up to Wright. Touched by him to Smith. Davis. Here's Wright again. Winterburn. Moving it forward. Ian Wright chasing. Nodded it over the head of Sasso, but Smith couldn't quite get on the end of it. But in any case, the feet were rather high. It's free kick.
I think what's happening a little bit with the French defence as well, the two central defenders, John Le Sasso and Ricardo, they're not playing a definite sweeper and a definite marker on Alan Smith. They're alternating whichever side the ball's up. And from time to time, you know, they're both of them leaving him unmarked. And that's a good get-out ball, if you like, for Arsenal. Arsenal like to start a lot of their movements with a ball straight into him.
Well, that apparently was a foul by Bowles.
Just one or two free kicks too many at this stage of the game and around Arsenal's penalty area.
Well, inside the last 5 minutes of the first half now. Ginola on the far side now for Paris Saint-Germain. All the tricks. A little shuffle here and a little shuffle there. And a cross that comes off the Arsenal defender, Lee Dixon, for another corner for Paris Saint-Germain. It's so important, Ron, isn't it, that Arsenal can get to this break with a clean sheet.
very much so. I mean, even if it was 1-1, Brian, they're still in a better position than they started. That away goal is so important, isn't it, in Europe?
Valdo with the corner again. Curled in, fisted away. Selly playing it to Winterburn. Down the line by him. Selly tried to get on the end of that one. And it's Arsenal's throw.
I must confess, I thought Arsenal would have to do the majority of the first half defending, sitting in there and trying to prevent them coming forward. And yet when they, as I say, when they come forward, there's plenty in it for them.
We're talking about how powerful Paris Saint-Germain's defensive record is. Arsenal, of course, are real Scrooges themselves. And they've lost only one of the last 16 since the turn of the year. Merson chasing. Polite gets it back. It's worth Merson going on chasing. It's always worth them chasing those balls in on a difficult surface to the goalkeeper. Thought he might try a long range shot, but right. Oh, bad place to lose the ball there. And they're furious with Ian Wright, the Arsenal players, and Tony Adams got in just before George Weah. That was a very dangerous place to give away the ball there, and Arsenal were so nearly punished for it, saved at the very last by their captain. But here's a corner. Valdo with it. Played in towards where just glanced off his head right across the face of that Arsenal goal to Jensen. Winterburn on that side. And Dixon. And a throw to Paris Saint-Germain. And another one. Great effort by Adams a moment ago.
Oh, tremendous. I mean, I thought they'd put the kiss of death when I said, you know, about them going in. 1-1 wouldn't be a bad score. Adams did exceptionally well there. Could just do see this little bit of pressure out, couldn't they?
Merson. And again, Merson picking his way away from those challenges. Lasse on the far side there. Ginola playing it in.
Somehow or other, you know, this is the one.
This is where Wright lost the ball.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes it's a magnificent interception there, but sometimes that's a problem when you have an attacking player back in a defensive area. You know, he plays with an attacker's instinct.
Merson. Here's Smith. Selly. Wright chasing. Sassu with him. Arsenal's ball. Time added on at the end of the first half.
Smashing first half for Arsenal. First 10-15 minutes you wondered. You know, we knew they're very much vaunted, the French team. But since then, for me, Arsenal have been well and truly the better side.
Lee Dixon with the throw for them.
And I'll tell you what would be encouraging. Let's just see this one through. This could be a dangerous situation.
Play for Merson again. Little touch. Little flick there by Davis. But they get the ball up to Ginola.
What could be encouraging for me, Brian, over the last few minutes, Paris Saint-Germain have had a lot of... Oh, no, he's not going to book him.
I think he might book Adams for that.
Oh, no, I think
outrageous.
I think Ginola's bought that one for him. Back to German.
That was outrageous.
Yeah. I must confess, we know in Europe you don't touch anyone from the back. But I mean, I think he's very unlucky he just seemed to block him off there, Ginola. I'm just saying that they seem to have lost their desire to go into the penalty box, you know. They put a few good crosses in towards the end of the half, Paris Saint-Germain, and nobody's really made a determined effort to get on the end of them.
Old gets in there. Valdo takes it up. Fournier. And Seaman got it and lost it. There was a foul on the goalkeeper. Arsenal's free kick. Played coming towards 2 minutes of injury time now. Can Ian Wright get hold of this? Lama. Well, full marks to the keeper there.
I must confess what I've seen of him. I like him, the goalkeeper. It's lively and bright and agile. That's what leverage there, isn't it? My word. It's hard to be proud of us.
It's with Paul Davis. Going to Burn. There'll be another throw.
That'll do. Keep it there till the whistle goes.
Coming towards 3 minutes of time added on. And apparently he wants the players to keep possession until half-time if he possibly can, not to give the ball away. Psychologically so important to go in one up. And then cracked his head on the old dugout there. Still, he'll be well pleased with the way the team have done for all the shouting there. Just got to keep it going. There's the half-time whistle. Excellent first half for Arsenal. Just that booking by Tony Adams. But George Graham will be delighted. Not least with a goal by Ian Wright that gives Arsenal a priceless 1-0 lead here in Paris. That's the story then from the Parc des Princes.
It's a spinning, looping archer all the way. That's it. Oh, the keeper saved it.
Here's the answer to everything you want from a car. A car built with passion. Fiat presents the new Fiat Punto. Designed with more space, more safety, and more flair. Fiat Punto. The answer.
Fancy a burger?
No way.
Fancy fish and chips? I don't. Fancy a pizza? Fancy a change? Yeah! Try a KFC variety meal. 2 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 hot wings, regular fries, and a regular Pepsi, all for only $2.99. The variety meal at KFC, where great value never tasted so good.
Looking for help buying a home? Then this free TSP video called The Home Buyer's Guide could be the key to your dream home. It makes understanding the whole process from making an offer to moving in child's play. It's helpful and enlightening, no matter what place takes your fancy. Ring 0345 123 900 for your free video. Because we want you to say yes.
Do you know, it's over a year since B&Q launched Key DIY, bringing you low prices every day on the products you buy most. It's still going strong. And now there are over 700 products at low prices when you want them. That's all the time, every day. Key DIY, only at B&Q.
Incredibly. Unbelievably. And just as famously smooth. Straight from the fridge with the new Smooth Flow device, Tetley in cans is now as smooth as Tetley on draft. Uncannily smooth.
Introducing Dulux Roller Coaster, a new brilliant white emulsion that rolls straight from the tub. It's much easier and quicker to apply because it's specially formulated for rollers. And there's virtually no splattering. The result, a quality Dulux finish in no time.
Well, what do you think?
It's great. But you missed a bit. Dulux Roller Coaster makes the difference.
What? Sir, I got something. This guy eats Yorkies, not peanuts. New peanut Yorkie, to be continued.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her Weetabix.
along came a spider and sat down beside her and said,
Oh, pardon me, wrong floor. I wanted bathroom fittings.
Have you had your Weetabix?
It's a spinning, looping archer all the way! Messi! Oh no, he's fumbled it!
Welcome back. The half-time score from the Parc des Princes. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Dennis Law, that's a great scoreline for George Graham and his team, especially after the first 10 minutes when they really weren't in it.
Well, of course, the atmosphere and the way that Paris Saint-Germain started off, you thought that they were going to be in for a very difficult game indeed. But after that, I mean, Arsenal took the game to them, and they really only had one sort of dangerous shot in the first 10 minutes from Colacha, which got a bit of a ball, but I think Seaman had it well covered all the way. That was the most dangerous thing of it, I think, of the first half. And then Arsenal came into the game, and as Ron said over there, it looked as though they were the team to score first.
Yeah, the first of their clear-cut chances fell to Paul Merson, possibly from a similar angle to the one he scored against Manchester United.
Yes, and I just thought at the time that he had plenty of time maybe just to knock it. And, of course, he elected to hit it first time. He connected well, but just well wide. I thought he could have just knocked it on a bit and taken it forward and had a better shot.
It was a concerted period of Arsenal pressure, though, and coming up, the moment that Arsenal fans have been waiting for ever since John Jensen joined the club. Almost the moment they
and it was a fine move as well, and it was a nice layback from Smith, and Jensen struck it superbly well, and Lamin, the goal, had a marvellous save, and I mean, that was a 20-odd yarder. It was one of those that you just felt, as Ron said at the time as well, that it might just trickle in for the first goal, and the one that he'd have probably looked forward to.
Fair to say that this French side are happier going forward than they are defending.
Oh, but and considering, of course, they got such a defensive record, a superb record, that after, as I say, 10 minutes, they didn't look a team to me at all.
When the goal came, two defenders absent for Messrs. Smith and Wright, I think.
Yes, and of course, Ian Wright gets the touch on the header, but if we see it again, Alan Smith could have easily got it. It was really desperate marking or bad defending from Paris Saint-Germain. One with a record you wouldn't expect him to have, but it was an excellent goal.
Vindication, I suppose, for George Graham for playing Ian Wright.
Well, I think if you've got to go away and try and get a result, you've got to defend, you've got to have somebody to score goals, and we said before the game that he is one capable of doing that at this level, without a doubt.
That really got the French backs up, didn't it, that goal? And they came back a little towards the break. Tony Adams proved his worth as an international defender, didn't he?
I think it was one of those where, as a forward back, tried to defend Ian Wright, and of course he gave the ball away. It was a nice little chip in, and you just thought this could be danger for Arsenal, but Adams came from nowhere to head it for the corner. But that was probably the most dangerous time in the game, apart from the shot earlier on in the first half.
Briefly, George Graham is telling him at the moment just to keep it the way it is.
He would be absolutely delighted, wouldn't he? Away from home, played well, 1-0 up, excellent. You can't do any more.
You can't. Dennis, thanks very much. Second half is coming up, live and exclusive. Stay with us, we're back in a couple of minutes.
How the rich take risks with everything, except their money. And did you know that Cheltenham and Gloucester is Britain's most cost-efficient national building society? The rich do.
Cheltenham and Gloucester. We're run to make you richer.
Whether you're 2 or 102, if you're at Flambeau's, you're having fun.
Getting a bit chilly. We better get back now.
Don't want young Colin to catch you dead. Typical.
What?
You've broken the key in the door.
I know I've broken the key in the door. I've got eyes. Look, don't go flying into one of your squawking rages. Squawking rage.
Squawking rage?
Sometimes things go wrong.
If you need something fixed in a hurry, call Talking Pages.
We'll help you find the service you want, wherever you are.
You'd only just shut up for a moment.
Ah, hello, Talking Pages. I wonder if you can help.
There are 3 locksmiths who have a call-out service near you.
Getting a car service isn't going to stop the key from breaking. Where have you come from?
I think your son organised it.
Bring him in, boy!
Oh, Colin, you're so precocious.
I'm 52 years old, Mother, and I'm a High Court judge.
Call Talking Pages on 0345 600 900. Calls charged at local rates.
Watch carefully. You're about to see something that won't happen very often. Incredible, wasn't it? The new Rover 600. Cars built this well are few and far between.
To discover the real difference between the world's 2 leading soft drinks, we're implementing an anthropological study. Chimp A will be allowed nothing but a leading cola. Chimp B, nothing but Pepsi. The results are astounding. The chimp that drank a leading cola showed improvement in motor skills. The chimp that drank Pepsi, however, disappeared.
Hello? It's him.
With a Cheltenham and Gloucester mortgage, there are no valuation fees, no application fees. They don't sell endowment policies. They don't insist you buy their buildings and contents insurance. In fact, their mortgages come with no strings attached.
For details of our mortgage range, ring 0800 333 900 now. Call Cheltenham and Gloucester, and you'll see how we're run to make you richer.
Welcome back. The kick-off at the Parc des Princes just a couple of minutes away. Time for us to look at one of the more serious Arsenal injuries of the first half, something that occurred, in fact, off the pitch. It's George Graham sitting down and sitting forward very quickly, Dennis. And he's pretending he didn't notice. And shortly after that, he started rubbing his head.
I'm sure with him leading 1-0, that bump, he wouldn't feel too bad about it.
I mean, he's been shouting all the way through in that first half, but he must be delighted with what's gone on.
Absolutely delighted. And of course, George said before the game that he didn't think that they were a particularly good team, and depending on how they play in the night. But the way that they started off, they looked as though they could be. And after 10 minutes, I think Arsenal then came into the game, and you just had a feeling there that Arsenal were going to take the game. So George will be delighted with the way that the game has gone, and the result, the half-time result anyway.
Well, that was the first goal, no, the 6th goal conceded in Paris by this side.
Yes.
I mean, surely they're not going to sit back and take that.
No, they can do. They've got to come out and try and get the equaliser, which, you know, they had a chance just before half-time. No, they know that it's going to be very difficult back at Highbury, so they've got to come out and attack and try and get the equalising goal. And if you do, you know, the crowd gets you going, and etc., and then try and get another goal. But the way that Arsenal play, and I'm sure what will happen in the first 5 minutes of the game, they'll come at Arsenal again like they did in the first half, and Arsenal will soak that up and then start to play the game. Looking at it the way that it's going, I can't see Arsenal but winning this game, or certainly getting away with the result.
Well, let's have another look at the goal, the one that will give them the result if things stay the way they are, and Ian Wright's precision.
Yeah, and you think, you know, with such a good defensive record, you know, the way that they have conceded, 15 goals or something in the league, that was bad marking, that. And as we said before, Ian Wright was a lovely header, but if Ian had missed it, there was Smith behind him to get the header, you know, and another opportunity for them. So there was 2 there, bad marking.
Brian Moore and Ron Atkinson have been talking about the incredible crowd noise in the Parc des Princes this evening. I wonder if that's working against the home side, the amount of pressure that's being put on them.
Well, you really wouldn't think so. You would think it really, I mean, when you played at, say, Old Trafford or, say, at Hampden Park, and you've got a great crowd behind you, no, it gives you inspiration, I could assure you. Unless, of course, that they're booing you, then, of course, it'll be a different thing. But no, they would not go against them, no. They'll be used to that.
OK. Well, I believe we can now talk to George Graham, the Arsenal manager, Dennis, who's with Gary Newbon.
George, it's been going very well, so what have you been telling the players during the half-time break?
Well, it took us 15 minutes, actually, to sort it out, because the movement from midfield is excellent, especially the boy Valdo. He pushes on to centre-forward, and then he drops off into midfield, goes all over the place. And it was difficult to pick him up after the first 15 minutes, but after that, I thought we did quite well, and we looked dangerous. You know, John Jensen's a tremendous shot. We created, I don't think they're as strong as at the back as I first thought, but they are dangerous going forward. But we've just got to hang in there and show our nice resilience that we normally do. And there's no reason why we can't get another goal.
The booking looked very harsh on Tony Adams. Looks as if he dived.
Yeah, quite honest, I don't think Tony needed to tackle there. But the number 11, he is very good at it.
OK, we got a good shot of your head. I hope it's OK getting injured there. You look all right.
No problem.
Well done.
Welcome back to the commentary box. Ron Atkinson here alongside me, Brian Moore, for the start of the second half. Ron?
Well, I think the biggest problem George has got is if it was one leg now, I think you'd be saying go for them, and they'd win about 3-0. Now he's in a great situation. His team's played well. He's just got to make sure they don't encourage or give the Paris Saint-Germain side any encouragement whatsoever.
Well, away we go then, the start of the second half. Guérin, the little workhorse, gets it back to the fellow who normally plays at right back, Sassou, now playing at centre back with Roche out injured. That may well have an effect on the Paris Saint-Germain defence. He's a key man. Here's Merson. In fact, the English sides have a terrific record against the French in Europe. 13 times English sides have met the French over the years. England have won 11. To France's 2, and goodness knows what Ricardo was doing there. Perhaps he didn't realise that Smith was so close up on him. But it looked as though he was courting serious danger there for a moment or two. This is Fournier on the far side. A little touch, a little fall for Selly. Hit forward to Smith. Played on to Wright. Taking on Sassou, taking on Le Guen. Plays it back calmly to Jensen. Long bowled underneath this one. There's his header. Played forward again to Webb. Will he try to go all the way? Little Valdo. Ginola. Twisting and turning and making it very difficult there for Lee Dixon. But Dixon then in the end concedes the corner.
Yes, we can sense if the first half's anything to go by, but the first 10 minutes of this half are going to be all important.
Absolutely. It's so important that Arsenal stay strong and firm now. Firm as they possibly can be in these opening minutes of this second half. Valdo again with another teasing corner floated in there and kicked off the line by Winterburn. Valdo again. Just emphasising the point there. Foul that time by Bowles on Ginola. Bowles having words with the Frenchman, being ushered away by the Swedish referee. Another free kick for Arsenal to face here.
I'm not so sure that didn't come off an Arsenal player's shoulder. You know, just trying to get a look there. I mean, full marks, that's his job in this situation, Winterburn, and he's done it very, very well.
Agüen and Weah over the top. This is Winterburn off the line. May have come off an Arsenal player, as you say, but it was certainly heading for the corner of the net.
Could have been, I think this just catches hold on the shoulder, you know. Well, not that one,
that was the header by Weah.
George Weah over there.
Up goes Smith, beaten by Sassou. Adams is in there. Jensen. Winterburn playing it on to Wright. Fournier. Wright coming back at him. Davis helping out. Play on, said the referee. Sassou finding Valdo. Valdo again. In comes Adam. No nonsense there.
It's a strange thing to find Arsenal put to the test twice in the air, though, isn't it? from the set play.
Collateur. Paris Saint-Germain now with a substitute on. Number 15, Daniel Bravo, has come on as a substitute, a striker, and it's Francis Lasset, a defender who's gone off. Valdo then with the throw, with the corner rather. Licon, and a great header there, and it's Ginola. Well, a near post header that has undone Arsenal, scored by Ginola from Valdo's corner.
I mean, you really cannot believe that Arsenal would be beaten by something like that. That once again shows the value of having a guy on both posts, though. You know, there's an argument, you don't defend your post. My argument against that is if the ball goes anywhere in the net from a corner, it would be near one of the unguarded posts. Guy on the near post cleans that one out. But what I fail to understand is why after half-time they've had 3 corners and Arsenal have been in trouble with every one of them. I mean, you'd have said that that's one of Arsenal's strengths.
Ginola again. And they had a man on the post for the previous one when Winterburn kicked off the line.
Yeah, but I honestly think you've got to defend both posts. I mean, that's a bread and butter clean out for any defender. There will be questions asked, by the way, of David Seaman on that, I feel sure. People might say, should you have been beaten? It was a glancing, awkward header, but I think there might be questions asked about him on the near post. If he doesn't want anybody there behind, he's got to make sure that he's able to deal with it. And that's just what Arsenal didn't want, was it? But now's the time. Character. George mentioned the word resilience. They've got to dig trenches again and dig deep on their mental strength.
A match for men, the newspaper said. The newspaper was right. Now Smith, can he turn? Surrounded there by Paris Saint-Germain players. Arsenal fans claiming a penalty. The referee didn't want anything about that. A throw to Paris Saint-Germain. Real testing moments these now for Arsenal. George Weah. Little touch to Bravo. Free kick. They've stepped up their attacking potential by bringing on Daniel Bravo, and it really has paid dividends already. This is Guerin. Ginola. Twisting and turning. And then flicking the ball here to Valdo. Oh, and Fournier on the far side. Weah's in the middle. Problems here for Arsenal. Oh, my goodness me. Bravo came flying in there. And in the end, I'm not at all sure it wasn't John Jensen who put it behind for the corner.
It was indeed, Brian. Tremendous tracking back there. I mean, that is a cert leading goal, that. He's not going to miss that, Daniel Bravo. Full marks to Jensen there.
Full marks to Jensen. Another corner for Paris Saint-Germain. The Brazilian Valdo with it. A deeper one again, and safe handling that time from David Seaman. Attempts for Paris Saint-Germain, 3 to Arsenal. But the score 1-1 is really what counts. Le Guen, Dixon getting there before Valdo, but equally Ricardo getting there before Alan Smith.
No, psychologically that's given Paris Saint-Germain a lift, but Arsenal's still got to try and work on the principle that, hey, they're in a better position now than when they started the game.
Absolutely. With the away goal, 1-1 is always going to be better than 0-0, but they've got to stick it at 1-1. Smith. And Dixon putting it behind. Whistle there from the crowd, but it wasn't really what Arsenal wanted.
They try to just get that one to die in behind.
We're in the midst of this noisy crowd here, Ron. That's our position. Isolated amongst these very, very noisy crowd. I can hardly hear what Ron's saying. He can hardly hear what I'm saying. Maybe at home you can hear just about what we're both saying. Gwen. Oh, good interception again by Adams. Smith trying to find right with it. Paul Davis. Winterburn on the outside. And Selly, can Mercer get to that? No, it was Bravo who got there just before him. And here comes this dangerous man, Baldo, again. George Weah, the striker's gone away to the left. Here's Weah. Does move up and down that line so well. This is Daniel Bravo. A little touch to the captain, Le Guen. Back to Baldo again. Whenever they're in doubt, they look for him. And very rarely does he fail them. Baldo. Is it short to Colleté? Stopped by Lee Dixon. No foul. Plays inside for Ian Selly, the 19-year-old. It's a real test for him out there tonight. Winterburn on the far side. Forward now to John Jensen. Into Davis. Arsenal putting a few bits and pieces together quite comfortably here at the moment. It's with Merson, but he's well beaten there by Guerin.
Surprised me there, Paul Merson. He deliberately dwelled on the ball, waiting for Lee Dixon to come up in support. I thought he might have had a go at the guy. He was 1v1 against the left-back collector. I thought he might have had a go at him.
Here's Jensen, who's putting through a tremendous amount of work, doing some good work as well.
There's that area again where they can operate in wide in attacking areas. The French team certainly don't occupy that position very well.
Jensen again, sweeping it this side to Lee Dixon. Long-range shot by him, quite easily cut out by Ricardo. Davis again, Jensen again. Forward to right. Tries a little spin there on the defender. Ricardo doesn't get to it, but the ball is swept wide here now for Merson. Now he is taking him on. And just the wrong side of the near post.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Paul Merson's, but I have to say tonight, Brian, he hasn't really gone at them with the conviction. I saw him last week against Man United. Every time he picked it up, he roared at the defence. Today he's been a bit hesitant. Sometimes, if a player like that's asked to defend, he hasn't quite got around the last defender to produce a ball. But I'd like to see him when as soon as he receives it, go straight at the defender and attack him, because I think he's well good enough to do the defender.
Le Guen. Bold backpedaling, being pursued by Ginola. Winterburn. Jensen. Davis. Jensen. This is okay. This is good stuff. Selly. Final ball came to nothing. Selly with a header. Winterburn hitting it high. Wright is the only man in there. Ricardo comfortably getting that one away. Taken nicely on the chest by Merson. Dixon now. Arsenal have settled quite comfortably at the moment after that setback so early in the second half. With Ginola's goal. Adams couldn't keep that in play. It's a throw to Paris Saint-Germain. French cup holders. Le Guen. Colleté. Oh, that was a stupid thing for Merson to do. And he could be in real trouble there. Yellow card. That was an idiotic yellow card again.
He's had a result there. He's actually had a result there.
He has.
But he hasn't had such a result for the remainder, has he?
Well, what on earth possessed him to do that? When you say he had a result there, you thought it might have possibly been the red one?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, that was blatant. He had nothing else in mind, but he was going to trip the Frenchman.
Adams. Well, there were 5 Arsenal players before tonight on yellow cards. There are 2 more now, Adams and Merson. And of course, 2 yellow cards means 1 match suspension. So there are 7 of them now in this squad that are teetering on the brink. Adams was unfortunate before half-time, no doubt about that. Oh, great one there by Ginola. There's a good cross in. Adams there with a header. He was a little disappointed that he didn't get that one clear rather than concede the corner. And come on, he saved. Some great work here by Ginola, sweeping past two of them.
He's come back to life at the start of this half, Ginola.
And he's waiting there at the near post again, as Valdo will be looking for him. Merson's there with him now. Bold is shadowing him too. It's a deep one, driven in. Bravo with an overhead. Arsenal following it out. Merson hits it long. Wright's chasing. The keeper's there. And as cool as you like. Goodness, he's got a terrific temperament, this Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper.
Yeah, he got a great starting position there as well, hadn't he? Because Ian Wright could have made on the defenders there.
Good jump by Bravo.
If Lama hadn't been playing as a sort of sweeper.
Waiting. Can Wright finish them off? No. Tumbles. Ricardo comes away with the ball. Ball hit long. Bold gets it away. Up towards Paul Davis. Played on again to Smith. By Selly. Here's Selly again, sweeping it wide. Dixon coming forward. Merson, Jensen, right across this midfield now, Davis, Winterburn coming up. Back again for Davis, little chip in there towards Alan Smith. Sassu's with him, number 5. Now Winterburn playing it in.
Some great football there.
Yes, they played really well there. Valdo got it away for Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, some shot in there by Jensen. Looked to me from this angle there might have been a bit of use of the elbow, but the referee was well placed and was perfectly satisfied. Dixon, Merson.
Whether he caught Ian Wright by surprise there for Merson by hooking it in early, but I thought that was an area where Ian Wright normally likes to attack. But the ball just rolled in towards the first post.
Legrand.
But it's very much the pattern of the first half, apart from the fact that Paris Saint-Germain have scored.
Merson.
Arsenal taking control of the game again.
Smith again. Crossed in. Polite getting that one away. Valdo. Adams well forward there. Him back defending before too long, I would imagine. Well, Arsenal have hustled Paris Saint-Germain out of it. And actually, if Merson could just have found Adams, Adams had gone forward, and Adams is still well forward of this play. Now it's a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Getting the better of Dixon, up to Weir. Real strong block challenge there by Tony Adams. No nonsense about that one. Found Winterburn. Forward to Davis. Wide again for Wright. A bit of frustration there showing from the Arsenal striker. Valdo. Challenged by Selly, but Valdo comes away with it. He looks lovely on the ball, doesn't he? So comfortable. Where now? Bravo chasing, but this is David Seaman.
I just wonder whether the Paris Saint-Germain side can sustain the high pressure all the while. They came out, they roared out after half-time, got the equaliser. Now all of a sudden it's Arsenal that are having all the game again.
Right. Sassu getting the better of him. Jensen, good header.
He's played well, Johnny Jensen, in that little role. In front of the back four, mopping up, just tidying things out. In the game, he's what they call it, he's got the dog job. Just everything, you know, the unsung job, if you like. They're so important to teams.
Smith, outdone there. The chase is on. George Way, who's got terrific pace, but so too has Adams.
Well, I think Tony Adams will be very pleased to hear he's got terrific pace. But he didn't half, that's desire, that he didn't half drive across, because George Weir completely spun Bold.
Ginola on the far side, another throw to Paris Saint-Germain.
And that's just one of the dangers when you overstretch, when you overcommit and leave space at the back of your defence. A little altercation going there with Jensen and Ginola.
Le Guen. A little bit of shirt tugging there by Le Guen on Davis, but he gets it forward to right. Right now, skipping past one, but look how quickly the Paris Saint-Germain skipper got back. Le Guen played to Guerin, but in came Davis very quickly. Right again. He's taken him off. Blatant obstruction there by Le Guen.
Now this I can't believe. If he's not going to be booked for that, I cannot believe that. Well, I mean, if he'd been a little bit deeper in the field, he could have been facing a sending up rap for that now.
Well, he's not getting a yellow card.
Well, I don't believe that.
George can't believe it either.
I don't believe that's right. That would drive me up the wall if that had happened.
Here Arsenal again, driving forward again with John Jensen, who gets the ball through to right. But not powered shot there to beat Bernard Lama.
Ian Wright will not be able to believe how much space he's getting against a so-called quality defence. You know, sometimes strikers, when they play against top European side, they expect to be man-to-man marked and have little or no space. He seems to, if he makes any sort of run, he gets good room to work in.
Right again. Oh, now that was a challenge and a half by Bravo. It's a free kick only given. Wright is still down. The Arsenal bench feel possibly that they are hard done by, and the Arsenal players surrounding the referee, I think they're probably pointing out, hey, look what you did for Tony Adams just before half-time.
I mean, that's cynical. That is completely cynical, as indeed was the one just before by the skipper. But you look on the credit side.
And also he's having a word there with the Swedish linesman, George Graham, and being ushered away, being told to sit down by a UEFA official. But George is incensed, I'm sure, by some of these refereeing decisions here tonight. But an Arsenal free kick. Winterburn with it. Up goes Smith. Can right get on the end of this. He can't. Well, that's got to be a... There's no way that the goalkeeper can take that. That came... I know it wasn't a back pass, but it was quite clearly played by Ricardo. I don't know. Is he entitled to take this or not?
Yes, give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him the benefit of the doubt on that. I must admit, my initial reaction was the same as yours, though, Brian.
Smith.
Well, I mean, it just shows now how much that Ian Wright has got them rattled.
Well, it's been a different Ian Wright in this second half. He's looked a lot more confident with the ball at his feet. Dixon. Played in towards Smith. He tried to flick it on or flick it back for Selly. But there were enough Frenchmen back there to make the clearance for Paris Saint-Germain. Adams. Selly, attacked by Colleté. Baldo just flipping it forward, leaving this one for Bold, under pressure from George Weir. Oh, a slip. Oh, my goodness me. A slip by Seaman, and then he hits it straight at George Weir again.
It's 2-1-2s he's played off the big Liberian, isn't it?
It is. This time a foul by Ricardo on Smith. Ironic cheers from the Arsenal fans that are here, but at last they've got a free kick. Winterburn. Right, very active indeed. Trying to steal a yard on Sasu. My goodness, you have to watch the play, I know, but at the same time, out of the corner of my eye, watching Ian Wright getting through so much work there, looking for an odd yard or so. There goes Sasu.
Tell me what, Brian, I've got the feeling Arsenal are going to win this still. They're looking the stronger side. I know that's sticking your neck out and so forth, but they do look more as if they're more about it.
68 minutes gone, 1-1 the score here in Paris. Second leg to come at Highbury, a fortnight tonight. And they nick it away. Bravo.
Tell you, they haven't learned the lesson for me of the first half, Paris Saint-Germain, of defending those wide areas well enough. They're allowing Arsenal to come into there for fun.
Smith getting it back for Winterburn, whipping one in here, but it's a little too high possibly, and Lama under pressure from Merson. Bravo. That looked like a handball, but the linesman and referee said no. Ginola again. And good play there by Dixon.
It's right again, he's not trying he's acting for a dive, but Bravo certainly handled the ball in midfield.
Valdo. Got to stop him. Crossed in, and it came off Winterburn. It goes behind for the corner.
And that's a little bit of pressure that's all started, all emanated from when Bravo was allowed to pull the ball down with his hand in the centre circle.
Le Guen, the captain, with the corner. The left foot, it'll curl in on David Seaman's goal. 20 minutes of the game left, and it's poised at 1-1. Seaman gathers it beautifully, and again, nobody on the near post one.
Now, I noticed on the last two, he's crept himself a little bit towards the near post, but you find what happens there, they stick one beyond him, and he's made good ground there and covered it well.
Dixon, right chasing, getting there before Colleté. The fullback comes away, Wright's chasing him, and Wright does well.
Brilliant, that, wasn't it? He's run 50 yards one way to pressurise. Still had the mental strength to nick back and keep his side well on the offensive.
Daniel Bravo putting that one in the air. Tony Adams. One in the air that time by Fournier, up to George Weah. Crowds start howling every time this big Liberian gets the ball. And that's why. San Valdo. Little touch by him from Colleté. Weir's poised in there. So too was Steve Bold. Sees Fournier again. A lot of pressure here now from Paris Saint-Germain. Fournier getting to the byline. Here's Winterburn. Right up ahead of him. Smith up ahead of him. Smith just playing it short. And Merson chasing now. This ball from Jensen.
Go on, get him back into the box and take him on. Take him on.
Well, he's got it through the legs to Alan Smith. A great save by the keeper. And it's Ginola. Arsenal so near to getting number 2 there. And again, this brilliant French keeper, Bernard Lama.
I thought he should have been attacking him on the outside here, but he's nudged it in. There's a little squeeze ball here. Manages to get it through to Alan Smith. Unfortunately, it's on Alan Smith's wrong side. But that's tremendous goalkeeping. I mean, the goalkeeper's made a good 10 yards very, very quickly. But I still believe that when Arsenal get the ball and spread it wide in the top half of the field, they're causing all sorts of problems for the Paris
Valdo to Ginola. Charged down by Adams. Selly couldn't get a hold of it. Guerin. And Wright right back there. Oh, great play here by Ian Wright. Now, what about this for a run? He's got Smith up with him. He's really attacking Sassu. In the end, he couldn't quite find Alan Smith, but it falls for Merson. Long-range shot. Keeper grabbed it like picking apples.
I think if we could just get a little bit more of that type of running off Paul Merson, because he's well capable of it, then Paris Saint-Germain would not have a double problem. Because Wright has really got the bit between his teeth now. 1 minute back defending, mopping things up, the next minute carrying the fight himself.
It's with Sassu. Up to Smith. It's Dixon. Jensen. Oh, that's a good ball. He's found Winterburn. There's space ahead of Winterburn. Oh, Davis for Winterburn. Into the side netting.
Oh, that is absolutely brilliant build-up play. A great little 1-2 on the edge of the box between Davis and Winterburn. And really, Winterburn, I don't know, he's got tic-tac-toe in his eyes there. Sounds of glory. And maybe just a little bit more calculating. Stood it up to the back post, and he's got Wright, Smith, Merson all pouring in.
Now it's the other end. Janola's found Ricardo, who's shown too much of it to Lee Dixon. It's an Arsenal ball. Been trying for about 10 minutes to get across to Gary Newbon for a quick word. Let's do it now.
Yes, Brian, although the Arsenal management are obviously very encouraged by Arsenal's attacks, they're seething about the referee not booking those two players, the Paris players. Arsenal are on 7 bookings at the moment. Jensen, Wright, Selly, Keon, Campbell, Adams, and now Merson. And of course, 2 bookings in Europe means a suspension. And at half-time, Stuart Houston politely asked the referee why he booked Tony Adams, and Stuart's just told me a moment ago that the Merson booking wasn't anything like as bad as the 2 incidents with Paris Saint-Germain. So they're really upset on the bench about those bookings. They could be expensive in the end, of course.
Of course they could. I would disagree with them about the Merson booking. I think Merson was lucky to get away with a yellow, but I'd take the point entirely. Oh, there's a lovely touch by Ginola. Hollister playing it in very, very deep. It has certainly been a very uneven refereeing performance tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, oh, look at this. This lad's, oh, he's unlucky. He's on fire at the moment, righty. Yes, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't disagree. I thought the Merson one was a blatant trip. I mean, he, as I say, he had a result to get away with the yellow one. But certainly,
Adams,
Le Guen should have been booked, and Bravo should have been booked. There's no question about that.
There's Ricardo. Getting it forward to Weir. Just under a quarter of an hour left. Hollister. That's out of play. That's a goal kick. And really, if it stays this way, it's a super result for Arsenal, and it really does set up that second leg, doesn't it, in a fortnight's time.
It is a good result. I mean, I don't know whether this is what sort of a level of performance this is for Paris Saint-Germain, but if this is one of their better performances, or as good as they can play, then I would say Arsenal are good favourites when they get them back to Highbury. If you just look at them and you wonder how much nerve they've got.
Good jump there by Sasu. Not forward again, right given offside. Linesman on this side. I've been wanting all night to say congratulations to you for Sunday. Your victory there, what a terrific game it was, both, I mean, from Villa's point of view, and United played a full part in it as well. Here's Merson, knocked in there towards Smith, knocked back by him. Wright's in there, saved. And I still can't get my congratulations into you.
Right at the moment, I'm more interested to see whether Ian Wright can get another goal. Because I'd love to see Arsenal pull this one. Oh, he's made a right Rick. I'd love to see Arsenal pull this one out the far now. There's that little chance there. Couldn't quite get a full whack on it, could he, Ian Wright? Nice little touch from Alan Smith leading into it.
Where? He's still way up. Winterburn lost that one. Fortunately for Arsenal. Oh! Dixon looks round at Seaman. Seaman looks at Dixon, and between them, they know they messed that one up.
If Dixon's had information at all from Seaman, and that's all he can be asking at this point. You know, he may... I mean, I don't think he has played that into touch. I just think he's miscontrolled it.
So just imagine if a goal comes from this corner, a corner so needlessly given away by Arsenal. Ronaldo again will tease one in there. Guerin on the far side. Winterburn got in, but it's a throw for Paris Saint-Germain.
mean, I would think that, particularly if Kevin Campbell's brought back as well for the second leg, that Arsenal will be fancying the chances strongly to rip this Paris Saint-Germain defence apart. The only thing I'm just wondering is how important is Russia to them? Or whether he'll be fit for the second leg.
Yeah, I think he'll be fit for the second leg. And, I mean, he is a key international defender. Kevin Campbell warming up.
I would think he's probably coming on in place of Paul Merson out this side. Paul hasn't really done quite as well. I mean, he's in good vein at the moment. He's played some great games recently, but tonight he hasn't quite got to grips with the job.
There's somebody who has, though, right. Having a tussle over on that far side.
I wouldn't mind a glass of what he's been drinking. My word, he doesn't half whip about the pitch, doesn't he?
But he's a changed man in the second half. I mean, he scored a goal and did it well. But, I mean, he wasn't as imposing a form in this first half as he has been in the second. He's been absolutely brilliant, as you say.
I think probably, you see, he set up with your mind, don't you? He probably thinks he's got to play a defensive role to start with and contain. And then as the half develops, thinks, hang on, I've got a chance here, the space. They're not the best I've ever played against. They're not tight marking me.
10 minutes left. Ronaldo. Where? Adams, as sure as you like, but Le Guen onto that left foot maybe. No, a touchdown with a header to Politan. And now the ball played by him, and a goal kick for Arsenal.
See, they've crossed anything they've crossed. I know Arsenal like to squeeze up to the edge of the 18-yard box, try and catch people or something. But you've never really seen one of the Paris Saint-Germain attackers. Only once, I think, George Weah went in on a cross. Going with any conviction and going where they think they might get hurt. You know, and I sometimes look at it and hang on a bit, you know. Are they really up for it? Have they really got the bottle, if you like?
Keown and Campbell, we understand, will be shortly coming on for Arsenal. Ball for the legs of Dixon that time from Ricardo. Ginola. Bravo and Weah are in there. Ricardo on the far side. A nice little touch header there. A lot of composure there from Paul Davis.
Wonder if he's going to stick Martin Keown in and bring young Ian Selly off. That might be a possibility. And just say, OK, 10 minutes from Wayne, let's block the thing up and make sure that the game's not out of sight. Well, George will be encouraged by what he's seen tonight.
It's very much insight for Arsenal at the moment if it stays this way. Palmer, the goalkeeper. Current French #1. My goodness, he's shown that once or twice tonight. We think Paul Davis is coming on. Bold. And not. Davis and Smith are the two coming off. Keown and Campbell coming on.
I'm a bit surprised about Alan Smith coming up because he's been fairly effective in the, you know, he's got on the end of most of the things that have been knocked up there. You know, and allowed Ian Wright to make his runs up it.
Battling away there. Campbell's got a good goal scoring record this season, 17. I know he's certainly missed a few.
There's never been a striker born that hasn't missed a few.
No, you're right. But I think he was having a tough old time. The crowd were getting a little bit agitated with him a week or two back. But knocked in 17. Ginola. Half stopped by Dixon. Enough at any rate for Jensen to get in. Adams with a little touch lead. Dixon again down that line where it's relatively safe. Le Guen's there though. Dixon again with a header. Once again it's Le Guen. Jensen, oh, he did well there to find Merson. Merson cutting inside. Le Guen again. Valdo. Davis trying to close him down. But he's a class act, is this number 10, the Brazilian Valdo. Ricardo, another Brazilian. Valdo again. Guerra. Spotted very quickly indeed by Seaman. Right. Away from Paris Saint-Germain again. Fournier finding Bravo. Wales on one side, still with Bravo. Handball there, too. Free kick to Arsenal. Substitution being made now with 6 minutes of the game left. Stephen Davis going on. Davis, the old pro, taking his time, taking up a few more seconds.
They've both done very well, haven't they?
They have remarkably well.
Played their part. Davis for his controlling influence. I think Alan Smith has been an excellent target man tonight.
Keown going across to have a word with Tony Adams, the captain, just to pass on George Graham's instructions. Campbell, of course, has gone straight up alongside Ian Wright. You'd expect that. And Keown looks as though he's going to slot into a slightly defensive midfield area. Lee Dixon. Ian Selly hit forward again. Oh, a little hesitation there between Sasu and his goalkeeper just for a moment. Adams. Back to Cena. It's a free kick. Le Guen will take it. We got past Jensen there. Here he goes again. And they got a corner. In terms of technique, nobody quite has matched him, have they, tonight? Corner very quickly taken. Bold there. Le Guen might come into touch.
No, you're dead right. Every time there's a little explosion, little surge from him, some good qualities and great skill. The only thing he hasn't done yet, I was just wondering there, several times he's appeared to bear down on the Arsenal goal and not quite get into a shooting position. And you always have that thing, don't you, against Brazilians. When they're within 25 yards, they can always make something happen.
George Graham having a slight confrontation there with the UEFA representative again. Ginola. Bravo. Collitter. Oh, White won't mind him going that way with it. White was pulling at Collitter. Just get away, Ian Wright. You've got one yellow card already from a previous game. Don't get involved.
Yeah, Collitter tried to get him at it, though, didn't he?
Oh, but I mean, and Ian was there, encouraging him in a way. Bravo. Oh, cut out this time by Campbell. Will it come forward to Wright? No, Baldo's there, gets it back to Lama, the goalkeeper. 3 minutes to go. And Arsenal will regard this as a highly successful night if it stays this way. Lee Dixon beats up a few seconds. Keown making a little run down that right flank, chasing Ricardo. Lama with a clearance. Keown with a header though, and it's Winterburn. Jensen. Ooh, down the line, what a good one. And Winterburn on the move to Ian Wright. But he hadn't seen Le Guen just behind him.
That might be the first sign of tiredness I've seen from Ian Wright.
But these are really critical last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yes, I mean, the first half was the same, Brian, wasn't it? They just got into the pole position towards half-time. It's important Arsenal don't let it happen again. They look as if they're just playing one up front now, Ian Wright. Everybody else has dropped into a midfield role. Campbell's occupying a wide left-sided midfield role.
And look at Wright going again. Long ball from Dixon. Support is eventually getting up to him in the shape of John Jensen, who took a real old bang there, but picked himself up again, got on with it. Selly is down, though. It's Wright again, playing it inside to Merson. Baldo. Selly is still down. Swedish referee allowing it to go on. And then they bang it away. And, in fact, Dixon gives the ball back to Paris Saint-Germain, which was not required. Valdo to Fournier, to Bravo, back again to Valdo. Taken almost from behind. No, he split the challenge well, did the Brazilian.
I think the referee's been a little bit unnecessary here with young Ian Selly, you know.
Well, I think an Arsenal player, surely somebody from Arsenal got just kick it into touch. Well, now surely they're going to let Gary Lewin come on and sort Selly out.
I mean, it's obvious he's had a headbang. I mean, okay, you can get people.
Well, if it is a headbang, the referee is quite wrong. He should have had to stop the game at once. That's a FIFA UEFA ruling. Well, we're inside the last minute, as you can see. I don't think it doesn't look to me to be a head injury. No, it's not a head injury. It's the right knee.
Oh, it's a nasty one, that, isn't it? He had a little jab at him there, no question.
Without a doubt. It will eventually be a free kick for Arsenal. And as you can see on the clock, we're now bang on 90 minutes. So if Arsenal can just hold for this last period of time added on, it will go down as an excellent result to take back for the second leg a fortnight tonight at Highbury, with a final against either Parma or Benfica in Copenhagen on May the 4th. What were you nudging me for then?
Just thinking, I got a funny old feeling. I said to you, I fancy a score draw before the match.
You did.
I'm not going to tell people what you fancy.
No, well, I'm one of the great pessimists of this world. I thought Paris Saint-Germain would just nick it tonight.
You said they'd beat them easy.
Not true.
That's you done when you go to Highbury more often.
Well, the Arsenal fans have been terrific here tonight. And indeed, their side have deserved every bit of support they can get, because they've put on a really gutsy performance with a lot of skill to it. In the most difficult circumstances, with this very hostile crowd, and not the best pitch in the world by a long way. There's still some work to be done, though. Winterburn slips for a moment. Steve Bold comes away with it. But again, it's given away. Fournier down the flank, and Winterburn just whacks it into touch.
Yeah, that's the difficulty when you've just got one man upfield. It's not always easy to hit him from a distance.
Minute and a half of time added on. It's important Arsenal hold on now. And indeed, Campbell plays it up to right. Just hold it. Oh, and he's given it away. Ricardo. There's the final whistle. It's an excellent result for Arsenal. 1-1 with that precious away goal as well. Ian Wright, the scorer for Arsenal in the first half. Ginola scoring an equaliser for Paris Saint-Germain right at the start of the second. But it all adds up to a terrific second leg at Highbury in a fortnight time. 1-1 the final score here at Paris.